Well, from FFA state officer to ag educator, Florida native Trevor Williams is on a mission to bridge the gap between farmers and consumers with his podcast, The Farm Traveler, an outlet for producers to share their story.
Every day we come across right and wrong information about what goes into our food. What's organic? What are GMOs? Are there antibiotics in my meat? A lot of misinformation out there that can not only negatively impact your wallet and your health, but also the jobs of the hardworking men and women in the agriculture industry. You see, no matter who we are or where we are, we've all got something in common. We've got to eat. So here on the Farm Traveler podcast, we want to find out exactly how our food is made. So to do that, we're going to interview farmers, ranchers, basically anybody and everybody in the agriculture industry, and ask them how our food's made, what do they do, and how can you, the consumer, make better choices when you're buying food for you and your family. So join us here on the Farm Traveler podcast, where we learn exactly what goes into our food by interviewing a bunch of really cool people and hearing what they have to say and learning about their expertise and any really cool nuggets of wisdom that they have to share. Can't wait for you to listen to our really cool episodes and join us on this really cool journey. Thanks. We'll talk to you soon.
Trevor joins us now for an update on this initiative. And Trevor, thanks for joining us and what an idea you have going. So what compelled you to create this podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. So, food is our common language. It's something we all have in common no matter where we are, where we're from. But, the typical consumer has no idea on how that food is made. And so the podcast is all about kind of bridging that gap between farmers and consumers that just kind of continues to grow. And we do that by interviewing farmers and ranchers, learning exactly what they do and why they do it, and also kind of showing consumers how their food is made so that they can make informed choices whenever they go to the grocery store. Because at the end of the day, they just want to buy healthy food for them and for their family.
So, Trevor, what kind of feedback have you had from the ag community so far?
It's been really good so far. I've got a lot of feedback from friends and family and from farmers and ranchers, and they've loved the podcast. I've had a lot of farmers and ranchers on, and they love being on. They just really like the opportunity to kind of share their story and share their daily practices, because they know there's a lot of misinformation out there. And so I know farmers are really eager to kind of get out there and find any outlet where they can kind of share their story and tell people exactly what goes on. So the feedback has been really good, which has been really awesome to hear.
And tell us, as far as your busy planning, I understand for season 2, what can folks expect there?
Yeah, so for season 2, we're going to swap things up a little bit. We're going to dive into organic agriculture versus traditional agriculture. And we're not going to get political. We're not going to make one side look better than the other. We're just going to do it because consumers have a lot of questions about what's healthiest, what's best. And so right now, we're looking for farmers and ranchers that are either organic or traditional, just to kind of come on and share their story and talk about why they do that production method versus the other. And so right now, if anybody is interested in kind of sharing that message and sharing why they do one method, all they got to do is just email us at all they got to do is email us at farmtravelerseries@gmail.com, or they can check out our website, which is just thefarmtraveler.com, and we have a contact us page where they can send us any information and contact information where we can get an interview scheduled, and they can share their story, and we can learn a thing or two from them.
Well, that was going to be my next question for you, is how could folks find you? So I'm going to dip in. You're a former FFA state officer, so tell us a little bit about that background and how that led to what you're doing today.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was a Florida state officer in 2009 to 2010, which seems like a lifetime ago. I feel super old, but I spent a year traveling around Florida, learning from farmers and ranchers and educating kids on kind of all the opportunities the agriculture industry offers to them. And I taught high school ag for 2 years in Daytona Beach, and that was a great opportunity. So I've always been interested in agriculture and kind of helping consumers learn more about where their food comes from. So that was kind of the idea behind the podcast, and so kind of went full circle from state officer to podcast.
Well, we look forward to hearing more from you. Again, thefarmtraveler.com is where you can find him online. Talking with Trevor Williams. He is with the Farm Traveler podcast, joining us on the phone today from Panama City, Florida.